morning, vlogsters. It's really early. We've got nothing but artificial light. Watch. Alexa, turn off bedroom lights. Alexa, turn on bedroom lights. Yeah, it's like that. Sorry if I just triggered your digital assistant to turn your lights on and off. But, however, good morning. Jim has made me some cold brew this morning. It's kind of ironic because it's kind of cold in here. This is my friend's cup, but it's got a blue cover on it. So I said, did you give me one of your Air Force mugs? Whoa. So good. So sweet. That's caramel macchiato is what that is. Oh, good morning, vlogsters. Vlogsters, I'm coming to you so early this morning because I feel like I might have to lay back down, but I'm not 100% sure. So my body clock is like, Jeri, you really need some more sleep. But I feel like wide awake, which means I'm probably going to crash in a little while. After I finished vlogging with you yesterday, you guys know I was sitting up and vlogging because I didn't have a straw in my cup, which was just the beginning of a day. I'm proud of myself for accomplishing what I did, but I'm also mad at myself for doing what I did. And let me get to that in a second. And I know you guys said that the earbud doesn't make a difference, but let me tell you something. When I go to edit, I can tell the difference. So maybe you can't hear the difference, but I can. So the yesterday I had the worst commode incident since it started, since I got the commode. I've really only had two, the one that I told you guys about and then this one. But twice since between, the bucket has fallen out, but it's caught onto the other bucket. I don't know if I guys told you that we took one of the buckets from the old commode. We have it with a little water in the bottom on standby so that if I have to change them in the middle of the day, I can. And this is the commode bucket that it comes with. I'm not like, it's not a 5-gallon pail or whatever. It's like the Dollar Tree bucket. It's like the bucket from the Dollar Tree. Sorry, it just reminded me of History of the World Part 1. That, sorry, just popped in my head. Anyway, so it's good to be the king. Let's just say that the bucket fell out during the most inopportune time. And apparently it was a lot fuller than I thought it was. So there was a lot. And what I found out, first of all, it's embarrassing. I'll tell you one thing. I am embarrassed when someone has to clean up after me. I know you guys don't think it. You think I'm like, not you guys, but some people think I'm just a princess who likes to just be disgusting and lazy and all that stuff. And that's, you go ahead and think that all you want, but it really is embarrassing. So after this happened yesterday, at the most inopportune time, I jumped off the commode and I grabbed my walker and I looked at the couch to see if there was anything I could grab. And the only thing there was my fairly new white quilt, and that was not going on the floor. So I got my walker and I turned it sideways, which I'm not supposed to do. And I walked to the bathroom and I turned it sideways, which I'm not supposed to do. And thank goodness the towels aren't deep into the bathroom. I don't have to go all the way through the door. I grabbed 2 towels and I threw them over my walker and I grabbed the Clorox, the Comet spray, and I hung it on the side of the walker and I walked back and threw towels down and made sure how far did this go? And, I did all this cleaning up and can I reach the mop? And the mop is way down the hallway. I'll never make the mop in time. So I basically used one towel to collect the liquid that was on the floor, and I used the other towel kind of as the mop. I took the Clorox spray and I doused the whole floor. I pretty much emptied the whole bottle. And I just wiped it down with the other towel. And I cleaned up everything that needed to be cleaned up. The commode seat, the buckets. I changed the bucket. I had a system going where I had so I tell you guys, I sit on the lid for the commode, but this commode doesn't have a lid. It's actually the lid to a storage bin that I just keep on top. And I did that so it would prevent my phone from falling in. What happens is a lot of times is I fall asleep with my phone in my hand, and with the old commodes, it would just fall on the floor. I'm sorry. People don't like when I like rub and itch and scratch. I'm sorry. I'm in pain, and this is what I'm gonna do. And if you don't like it, change the channel, please. I appreciate it. Thanks. Love you. Love you. Mean it. Oh, look, if you were here and you're as my guest, you would see me do this anyway. So what the heck? Just enjoy it. I would accept you for all of your flaws. You need to accept me for mine. No, I'm kidding. So I took the commode, the cover, the lid, and I put it on the bed, and I started putting things on there that I didn't want to have like fall over. I picked things up off the floor as fast as I could. I got like the electricity. As soon as the accident happened, I pulled up the surge protector. I said, which is driving me crazy because I've asked so many times, can I just have the drill and a screw? I will do it myself. I just want to hang it on the wall between the headboard and the nightstand because I don't like the wires. I like the convenience of being able to plug it in without bending under the bed or whatever. But it's also like, I don't, especially now, if this happens again or if I spill water, it doesn't always have to be an accident, like an accident. It could, it doesn't always have to be a commode accident. I could knock over my water cup. I mean, that's not good with electricity either. Electricity and liquids, just not a good combination. So, first thing I did was before I even went out, as I pulled up the electricity, I threw it on my bed. Thank God there was no liquid near it. Then I was like, okay, scramble, scramble, scramble. Come back, clean up the mess. And I'm like, I do it in sections because I'm exhausted. And here's the bad part. The doctor said, don't bend over. And of course I had to bend over. That's why I was a bad girl. So after the fact, Mom said, you should have called me. I told you I take my phone off Do Not Disturb for emergencies like this. And I was like, I understand. I really appreciate that. But it's really kind of an embarrassing situation. And honestly, let me tell you about embarrassment. Is then when she woke up and she texted me, I was without a tire on the commode because I had like messed up my nightgown and I couldn't get my pajamas on the other side of the room. I knew I just needed to take a break. Then I could try to get the walker again and go get pajamas. But she had texted me in the meantime. And I was like, yes, can I please, please, please help? And she was like, oh, she comes running in. She looked like she had just woken up. And I told her what happened. And I said, I'm sorry. I said, Ma, as she's starting up the door, I'm like, Ma, I'm sorry. I'm not dressed and I'm on the commode. She's like, oh, close it. I was like, no. I'm not dressed because I don't have any night pajamas. I was like, please. I don't know what to do. Cover myself with... I couldn't reach the pillows because I'd pushed them out of the way so I could get stuff. Oh, what a mess. What a mess. Not a mess like a mess, but like my life was a mess. So, I had taken the garbage bag out of the garbage can and I put like the rug and the towels and my nightgown in there. And she had got me some pajamas. So I put some pajamas on. And I don't want to talk like graphically, but I had to clean up in stages. So I had to like make sure that this was done and then this and then do that and then rest and then do this and then rest. As long as I got up the mess and got the mess off the floor cleaned up, the rest of it can go after I rest. Like put the commode back together after I rest. Well, actually clean the commode after I rest. Put the commode back together after I rest. You know what I mean? Like do it in stages. I had to do it in stages. So I did, and I accomplished it all except for getting myself pajamas, which I ended up getting new pajamas later. She actually stepped out, and the pajamas that she had given me, I had gotten messy, and I was actually having company yesterday, so I didn't want to have messy pajamas with company. So my walker was still set up from the morning, and I was able to like go to the couch, grab my walker, and get pajamas. I settled. And when my company came, I wanted to be sitting on the commode like a seat so I could visit. And I mentioned that in the morning. There's the bench by the window, and I could sit and we can actually talk. And I don't have to be laying down. And I really could only do that for a few minutes. And I was like, she had given me so many wonderful gifts. I was like, I want to do a hand-delivered friend mail video because I want to share with you guys everything she gave me. So thank you, Poppy. I'm not going to cry because yesterday was close. Yesterday was really close. And I was like, I got to always stop. I got to always stop because it's annoying to people. Some people get annoyed by, but what the hell? Why do I care about people who get annoyed by crying? Probably because they're my family members. Baby Snow likes to cry. What can I tell you? So I visited yesterday and I was quite uncomfortable. And I realized after the fact that my alarm for my 12 o'clock gabapentin went off while I was on the commode for the 17th time. And I don't think I took it. And I don't remember. It's bad. It's bad. I couldn't remember if I took it, so I didn't want to take it again, but I'm pretty sure I did it. It was just one of those things like I sometimes the days flow into each other and you take your medication doses flow into each other and you're like, did I do that? Did I? Oh boy. So anyhow, that's how that story went for yesterday. The reason I told you all that is because I'm exhausted. I didn't really, I don't know what that was. I didn't want to take the codeine again because I had it did I have it the night before? I had it, today is Thursday. Today's Thursday. I didn't want to take it Wednesday night. I had it Tuesday night because of the thing on Monday night. That's why. So Monday I went to the doctor. I didn't take it Monday night because I didn't feel it Monday night because Monday night I had a lot of adrenaline going. But Tuesday night I took it because it was all coming on to me Tuesday. So I did want to take it Wednesday because I don't like to take it 2 days in a row if I can help it. So last night I was like, okay, let me just try. And I laid down and I was really tired from all the things that I had done from my day, but I fell asleep pretty quickly. However, I woke up fairly early. I actually woke up at 12:30, but rolled over and went right back to sleep. But then I woke up at 2 o'clock and that was it. I was up at 2 o'clock. But, we do go to sleep at like 8:30, 9 o'clock. So 2 o'clock's not terrible. I mean, that's 4 hours, but that's just 5 hours. If I was asleep by 9. So, I mean, that's not terrible. So maybe that's why I'm not tired, but I'm here with you now. I don't even think I told you guys this, but I use or like to use, they're called like Fresh Mates, I think. But Arm & Hammer makes these things that stick inside your refrigerator on the wall and they stick inside your freezer on the wall. And I love them and they are the best because we're not great about not knocking over a box of Arm & Hammer baking soda. And we do have a lot of garlicky type foods and oniony type foods in our refrigerator. So smells can often cross-contaminate, is what I'm saying. So what I had noticed is I knew that I needed a new refrigerator filter. Actually, I'll tell you the truth. I was very disappointed. I spent a lot of money on what was supposed to be a really good refrigerator filter on Amazon that was supposed to last 6 months, and it did not even come close. I think October will be 6 months. It kind of died at the end of July. So like 3 months. I was very disappointed. And it was expensive. And I normally buy my refrigerator filters like super cheap on discountfilters.com. I get like 3 for $50. This was like $47 just for one. But I was like, oh, if it'll last longer and it'll purify my water better, it'll be better, right? But I had noticed it because I drink water all the time and I notice when the taste changes. We have hard water here and we have a water softener, which basically salinates the water, I guess, to purify it. I'm not really sure how that works, but you can tell that there is salt deposits on like the water dispenser from the refrigerator. And a lot of times, like the water cup that I have that looks like this will have like salt crystals start to develop on the lid from the water sitting there. And I'm like, yeah, that's not good. So those are sometimes indications that it's time to change the filter. But it actually has a sensor on it that, you know, you can reset. And the man who, the refrigerator repairman who came that time from Sears, which, by the way, if you can get Sears appliance warranty, it's expensive, but it is the best thing ever. They come out once a year and do maintenance on all your appliances. Plus, all repairs are like covered or replay. Like it's amazing. It's definitely worth it. Anyway, when I had that, when we could afford that, when I was working, he said, I said, this light changes when it's time to change the filter. And, you know, is that a good indication? He goes, yeah. He goes, actually, we always recommend if you see the flow start to change. So if the flow starts to get weak or like sputter, then that's like a good indication that it's time to change the filter. But because I haven't been out there for a couple of months or a couple of weeks checking it and getting my own water, I don't really know if that's happening. But I could taste it. And the thing I could taste the most was my like ice cubes. I don't know why we don't really freeze like meat in there. That freezer is just for frozen vegetables and breakfast food. But my ice cubes were tasting awful. And the only thing I could think of is because we didn't have a Fresh Mates in the refrigerator or the freezer. They share airspace, so it's like you can sometimes taste your refrigerator food in your freezer. Anyhow, I haven't had ice cubes in like forever, and it's the summertime. Like, I like ice cubes all year in my water. I like it in the summertime especially. And I was like, I can't have ice in my iced coffee because they taste terrible, and I can't. I'm like whining. I'm such a whiner. But I got a new refrigerator filter, thank God. Got fridge mates, thank God. We found them both at Menards for really relatively good prices, and we have Menards here, and they like often have a sale of 11% off. So it was 11% sale, plus the items were on sale, and they have free pickup and stuff. So we did that, and Jim changed it finally, and I was like, thank you. I got ice in my cold brew for like, this has to be officially the first cold brew with ice. The other day he made me an iced coffee, like it was a Starbucks bottle of iced coffee, and this is 24 ounces, and the bottle of cold brew is 32, the iced coffee is 32 ounces. He's like, there's almost none left, and I'm like, yeah, because you didn't put any ice in here. It's like, you gave me a whole bottle of cold brew. You should just put creamer in the cold brew bottle. I'll just drink like that. That's good. Anyhow, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. But that's where we're at right now. As far as the filter reminders are concerned, we do have the refrigerator reminds us to change the filter. I got the thermostat. Thank you. Hi. The thermostat reminds us when to change the filter. But basically, you have to say, I've changed the filter today, and it'll set it for 90 days or whatever. But here's the thing I found out about that. That's not 90 calendar days. That's 90 days of it being on. So if it's not running, it doesn't consider itself 90 days. However, living with a smoker, we do 90 calendar days. So we change it. I write on there. A trick I learned at AHRC is we just take a Sharpie and we write the date that we installed it on there, and you can see it through the like little cracks of the vents. So it's easy to just say like, oh, it says 9/7/21, so we don't have to change it to 12/7/21. But what I was trying to get to is I also keep reminders on the family calendar on the phone. So Mom and Jim and I share a family calendar on our phone. with Jim's work times and, well, currently now he has steady work times, but for when he was working different days off and stuff. And it has like doctor's appointments, like whatever the family all needs to know. And that's where we put that. I put that on the family calendar to say, change the refrigerator filter, change the microwave filter. Now the microwave has a filter. And then change the air filter. So, and I don't mean the like, oh gosh. There's a name for them. The vent filters, the vent grease catcher thing, not those. This new microwave has a filter, like an air filter on its outtake. The exchange at the top, it has a filter, like a charcoal filter. So we have like those reminders on the family calendar. And it's good to put them on the family calendar because if I happen to be away or if somebody's sick and this isn't up to one person to remember, you know. I think we talked about that. I actually was talking about that yesterday with a friend that it's just weird that I was given the position of housekeeper and I don't even remember applying for it. But it's okay now. I mean, it's good now, but I just, for a while there, it was like, you know, somebody would come to you and say, I noticed there's a lot of dirt under the coffee table. I'm like, and what'd you do about it? Anyhow, my husband suffers from short-term memory loss. Like, he doesn't forget how much I used to clean the house and have a full-time job. Just saying. And I don't even mean working for YouTube. I mean, like, working at HRC 60 hours a week. And, like I said, I've said in videos before, he's never scrubbed a toilet in 21 years. He has since. But truth is like, when it all comes and said and done, it's like, who's been doing this? And then I use that as an example because I'm kind of OCD about the toilet, or I thought I was until I realized how blind I am. But it's just, I use that as an example, but it's really a lot of things, you know, like, you know, when was the last time you moved the bread box? For what? To get the crumbs out from underneath. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'll do that next time. That's fine. I just was saying, like, you know, he acts like, and I don't mean I'm not grateful when he cleans. Obviously, 100%, especially when he cleans up after himself. I just appreciate that everything. But it's one of those things to be like, should I have to appreciate that you clean up after yourself? And I guess I should. I should be grateful that you're doing anything for yourself. But, like, you should be doing that. So, like, should I be grateful that you're doing something that you should be doing? I guess I'm grateful when he takes his meds without prompting. So I should be grateful when he cleans up after himself without prompting. How do you know you worked with adults with developmental disabilities without telling me you worked? Joe did this with two verbal prompts, one physical prompt, and one hand over hand. Okay, sorry. Anyway, my sister's coming on Tuesday. So all of this was just to tell you, like, hey, my sister's coming on Tuesday, and I'm so excited. I haven't seen my sister since the funeral last year. Her birthday is on Friday, tomorrow, because today's Thursday. So tomorrow, to update you guys, tomorrow I don't have the CAT scans. I just have the nuclear scan and the bone scan in the afternoon. CAT scans are going to be the following Friday, and she'll be able to take me, even though it's going to be here in town. And then I haven't heard from the department that schedules the biopsy yet. Now, I'm not sure if they want to schedule that after the bone scan or after the CAT scan. The reason I say that is because the doctor indicated to me that if they find other growths in the CAT scan, in like, say, like my lymph system, then they'll biopsy in multiple places. So it's probably better to wait to get that appointment anyway. Okay. So let's see what else. I don't know. Oh yeah, so my sister's coming. She's already told me she's gonna whip my butt into shape, and I'm like, well, all right. I just don't. I like you guys. I like the impression that I get from a lot of you guys. Not everybody believes what I say. They only believe what I do. And you see me mostly laying and sitting here, and you don't see that I've done my physical therapy or done exercises and done the things that I can and cannot do. But I do. And obviously the fact that I can sit up for as long as I can is just an indication that I'm actually doing the work. You guys saw me in the beginning. Oh my gosh, it was horrible. It hurt so bad to sit. Now I have to tell you, it has been over a week that I've tried sitting up in bed. But I realized this morning that I can sit up better, so much better in the chair. I should try sitting up in bed. But then I realized what the doctor said about bending over, so maybe I shouldn't try sitting up in bed. Oh gosh, I don't even know. I don't even know. Sitting up in bed would be really great if I could do that. That would give me a whole nother realm of possibilities. But anyway, my sister was talking about all the exercises that I need to do while I'm in bed, and I was like telling her about what I'm actually doing. You know, I've mentioned it on the video, and she watches them, but I was telling her like firsthand what I'm actually doing. And I described it to the doctor. I don't know if I said this in that video, but I told the doctor, I was like, he said, you know, talking about me losing the weight, and I was saying like, I'm trying to keep myself toned because I don't want to lose, you know, trunk muscles, or, you know, I don't want to lose my strength or whatever. And I said, what you don't realize, but what people don't realize is that it's like trying to move without hurting myself is like Pilates, because you have to like tense these core muscles to get your hips to lock and line up and your knees to be in the same place to move them at the same time. People, I break out in a sweat sometimes, I'm telling you. It's like, that's a hard workout. It is really hurting today. I hope I didn't do anything bad. It doesn't hurt so bad that I think that I did some more damage, but it does hurt like. Oh, it's a toaster. I was like, what? We have a Ninja Foodie air fryer, toaster oven, convection oven situation. I've shared it with you guys before. Its finishing buzzer sounds almost exactly like when you leave the freezer open. The warning that says that you left the freezer open. So it caught my ear, and I was like, oh, well, that's what that is. Yeah, Mom woke up early this morning to have her breakfast. So. Okay, so where are we at with the story? Oh, Pilates. So she said, you know, we were going over yesterday. She's like, I'll bring the dumbbells. I'll bring, you know, keep my arm strength up. I'll bring this. I'll bring that. I was like, okay, good. I was like, all right, good. She's like, I asked my husband, do you think we can get the exercise bike in the back of the truck? And he's like, Julie, you're driving. You can take whatever you want. So she said, because then you can get on it. I'm like, well, not until it says I can, because I'm sure I can't ride a bike right now. I'm sure I'll get in a lot of trouble if I'm riding a bike right now. Anyhow, I've heard from family members that have had the test that I'm taking on Friday that it could wipe me out a little bit. So I don't know about if I don't vlog on Saturday or whatever, but we'll see. And I do have some prep work. I don't really have prep work for the CAT scan. I have a little bit of prep work for the CAT scan, but I mostly have after work for the CAT scan. You can't take metformin for 48 hours. You guys know what happened last time I was off metformin, right? No, I'm kidding. 48 hours isn't going to hurt me. I mean, I'll have to manage it with diet, basically, is what I'm saying, as opposed to, unless the contrast actually works that way. I wonder how it works. That's a good question. I am curious. I'll have to look that up when I'm done. Maybe you guys know. Maybe my favorite doctor friend is watching and she just knows right off the top of her head why. Maybe she never heard of that before either, so who knows. But anyway, I got some stuff from Sierra.com yesterday and I tried to hauled it, but it was a really short video because I was in a seat and it was hard to sit there. I was uncomfortable. I was sitting up to do it in the seat and it was not comfortable because I had sat so much already for the day. I was tired already. So I think it was only like 7 minutes long, but then I thought what I could have Jimmy do is put the stuff up and then we could take little videos of everything in place. I think that'd be nice. So I think I'm gonna have him do that for you, and then I'll share that haul with you and do my editing magic. And let's see. I did buy him an item and he loved it. I was really kind of shocked. I was like, really? He's like, yeah. Sorry. So I'm not trying to be like gross about it, but my cuticles, I think because I had a bout of dehydration, I need a manicure is what I need. I need my cuticle nippers. I need a manicure. I need a pedicure. I need to get all fancied up. Maybe my sister will do that when she comes. Maybe she'll give me a haircut. She didn't even hesitate. She's like, I could be there if you need me. I'm like, break it. And then my mother-in-law said, well, you're not really asking me to do a lot, so I don't know what kind of help. I was like, well, it's really help for Jim. You know, Jim won't have to take off to go take me to appointments, and Jim won't have to do, you know, X, Y, and Z before he goes to work and after, because she can help me during the day. She's like, oh, okay. But I really do feel bad asking her. Like, we moved in with her so we could take care of her in her old age, and also she could take care of me after I got hurt. But she didn't hesitate. Mom didn't hesitate to ask if I needed anything. So very, very sweet. She's been very, very caring. She's been very, very sweet. She's probably enjoying all the quiet out in the living room. That's why. We're not waking her up. We're not cranky. What am I thinking? There was something I wanted to talk about that I can't remember right now. But my sister asked me, is there anything from home you think about that you need me to bring? And I was like, my nieces. She's like, I can't. They all have to work. I'm like, I know. So I just thought that was really cute. But I was like, I'll think about it. I don't know, what. So she talked about all the things that she has that she'll bring. And the things that she's bringing for physical therapy, she's using herself. So it's not like she's just bringing them from me. She's doing some physical therapy on her back. And I think she said her shoulders, because she's had bad shoulders. She said shoulder surgery, I think. The right? I think the right one. Yeah, I'm trying to think. But she also cooks really healthy. She eats really healthy. So that'll be nice. Maybe if she is willing to make dinner a couple of nights a week, will help out Jim. Because honestly, we've been ordering too much out just because he's so tired when he comes home and he doesn't feel like cooking. But we really can't afford to keep doing that, unfortunately. And I wish I could do something. He started to have like this stomach thing with the pills. I just wanted to get up and do stuff for him, and I couldn't. And it really was just terrible. It really was. Let me tell you something. We've talked a lot of times about being a caretaker or caregiver and accepting help. But to be a caretaker or a caregiver and needing help and not being able to help, wowzers. Wowzers, is that tough. I really thought that asking for help was always going to be the toughest thing I ever had to do. To like actually, I want to say humble myself is probably the right term. To humble myself and ask for help. And that'll be from God. He's been helping me. I've been asking him for help my whole life. I meant like from one of my peers in the world. So it's just been like, please, sir, can I have some help? I have on, that was the story. I have on this cute little wedding band set. You guys see that? Am I close enough without being fuzzy? So here's the story. I purchased this on QVC, this set for $28 and change. It's sterling silver and diamond. This is actually older than Epiphany. I feel like Epiphany came out right after this. But I had bought this before I met my husband. I used to wear it when I would go out dancing to like the clubs and stuff because it would deter just random guys from picking you up. And I would just want to go out with my girlfriends. I don't want you to pick me up. Like literally. And I really was like, I'm not going to say a snob, but I was like, I like to go out dancing. And if I see somebody who's dancing, like I might do this, you know, or somebody I like, I might take them off. But just like all of these random like guys would come up and just be like, you know, hey, can I get your number? Hey, like, I want to see, and make all these like cute or snide comments. But it also deterred the fat haters because there were a lot of them too, especially where I lived, because they'd be like, oh, she's engaged, she's married, she must be after she's had kids or whatever. So that worked out good for me. But anyway, I had it sitting in the jewelry box in my dresser, and I think it was kind of like, I don't know, a couple of months after we were together, I was just showing him random things. And this was one of the random things that I showed him. And he remembered, because about 2 months later, we were laying in bed, and I think we were talking about our future, but I don't really know if we were talking about our future. I think we were talking about our future. And he like randomly just like jumped up, butt naked, opened the drawer, pulled out this engagement ring, got back in the bed, and asked me to marry him. And it was like the most romantic thing ever. And though this is not a real diamond, I'm not a real diamond girl. I think that, no offense to those of you who like real diamonds, they are a waste of money. Besides where they're sourced from. And not that artificial ones are made perfectly either. You know, not any manufactured jewelry is really like, can always have some bad things behind it. But this is what I wore when I got married. We did use this wedding band though. We have gotten these sterling silver wedding bands that have Gaelic, it's sort of like, my love is mine, my love is ever upon you. Oh, how did I forget it already? No. Yeah, my love is upon you. I think that's what it is. Oh, I just think I forgot. It's sort of like embossed, like not embossed. It's It's called a relief. Basically, it's when you carve around a word and the word sticks out. So that's, we have matching wedding bands. But we wore them for the first year, and we realized that the relief words would get like, we're getting worn down. So we put them away, and we wear them on special occasions and anniversaries. And even these aren't holding, but they're not falling off, so that's good. But these were smaller. The ones that I have that you've seen every day in my videos. It was a tradition that I got a new set like every anniversary for the first couple of years, and then it was like 5 and 10 like milestone anniversaries. So the set that I had, I've actually had since our 10th anniversary, because then we had the flood and we moved here and we really couldn't afford to get one for the 15th. So I've had that pretty much for 10 years, and it doesn't fit me anymore. They don't fit. They fell off my fingers one day laying here in bed, including the one that I wear on this finger, which is it's a aquamarine that I got from, it's sterling silver and aquamarine that I got from Avon. So I have to find another one, but we never actually finished the jewelry box. Maybe another project I could do with Julie. There's just little things that Jim just hasn't been wanting to help me with. And I asked him about the autumn stuff. I was like, I've been asking you to just get that stuff so I could put it in the little totes. And I said to him, have you been not wanting me to do that because the bins are actually in the storage facility? And he's like, yeah. I don't understand why he just doesn't tell me. Like, does he have to, like, just... Hemming and hawing is worse. Then I feel like you don't care about me. If you tell me the truth, then it's different. I can, just be patient until we can get to the storage facility or whatever. So, I told him, he's all right. It's all right. It's all right. I never know. You never know what the future holds in general, but I don't know what the future holds as far as crafting for me is concerned. I know I will get back to it. I was thinking it would probably be in time for Halloween DIYs, but now I'm not so sure. I'm hoping it'll be in time for Christmas DIYs. But either way, you can count on that I'll be back. And it stinks because I had so many autumn ideas in my head. And I do have a handful of Halloween DIYs in my hands and some Christmas things that I want to do. So, it is what it is. It'll happen when it happens. It'll happen. My brother-in-law was cute. He tells my sister, don't spend $1 billion. And she's like, and obviously they don't have $1 billion, but she's like, where am I going to spend money? And I was like, he does know I can't get out of bed, right? He's like, yeah. I was like, he's like, just shopping and stuff. He's like, she's like, where am I going to go shopping? So cute. She finally got her front porch. So she lives in Las Vegas. She's lived in this house that they bought for 21 years. Yeah, because it was before they got married. 21 years. Let's see. 99. Did they move in 2000 or 99? I think it was being built in 99. I think it was being built in 99. So I think they moved in 2000. But I'll ask her more. Maybe she'll come on for a vlog with me one of these days. And you can see how much we sound alike. Excuse me. Every time I go to visit her, I answer her phone and her friends are all like, hey, Jules, what's up? And I'm like, do you want to speak to Julie? Oh my gosh, you sound just like her. Excuse me. I have cream or phlegm in my throat. Thank you. But anyway, she lived there for 21 years. She has like a back pergola that was part of the pergola wasn't part of the build. The back cement deck was. And her husband put on like a pergola, which is basically not a full covered deck, but like the slats where you have like a board to board and board. It creates enough shade there in Vegas that I believe the spring and the autumn and all through the winter is just perfect. But she has wanted a front one for a very long time. And she finally got it. I don't know if they put up the pergola, but they have cement poured. First, they redid like a fence. They had like their retaining wall, and they did like this fence area. And their front lawn is like gravel and like desert plants. I don't know, like hardy that withstand the dry. But her house is beautiful. I loved it. I mean, I remember when she got it. I remember one day. Actually, we did a walkthrough of the model. And she was showing me what hers was going to look like, how hers was going to be different. I believe we went to the site where it was being built on. It wasn't where it was going to be built. It was like I watched it grow, I haven't been there since 2012. That's almost 10 years. That's crazy. Last time I was there was Katie graduated. But then the hurricane came. And then I moved here. And I just haven't really been able to afford to go until this year. And actually last year was really when I was going to go on my birthday tour. My original plan for my birthday was not to have everybody come here. It was for me to tour around the country. And see everybody, take my party on the road. I don't know if you remember that. That was going to be like the first time I could afford to go there. And then the pandemic. And then my birthday. And then she couldn't come for my birthday because of the pandemic. And then we all made it to the funeral. Unfortunately. I mean, it was fortunate that we could make it. But it was unfortunate that it had to be for a funeral. And then I couldn't make it for the wedding. She was able to make it for the wedding because I had hurt myself. And who knew? Who knew? Yeah. Life is weird. I feel like sometimes that's like Ferris Bueller. My life moves pretty fast. Because if you don't catch up, you might miss it. Anyhow. So, an exciting news. I found out that the next town over, which is this little teeny tiny town that has a restaurant that closed. And we were all like, oh, it closed? They're going to put in a Dunkin Donuts and Baskin Robbins with a pizzeria. Now, I don't know about the pizzeria. We were kind of hoping, I was talking to my friend yesterday, we were kind of hoping it would be like the Mario's chain. Wouldn't that be great? Oh my gosh. She was like, I love their pizza. And I was like, they have the best keto crustless pizza. Basically, they put all the toppings and sauce into a giant pan. I kind of made a video like that on my channel. I called it crustless lasagna or noodleless lasagna. That's what I called it. Where you just like layer all of the toppings in the lasagna. Well, this one was just like a tray like this. And it just had sauce and cheese and like all the toppings on it. I was like, oh. I had it in Georgia. It was so good. So good. So good. But anyhow, I digress. Focus. That's not why we're here. So that's coming, and that's just a couple of miles down the road. It's closer than St. James's. So I was telling Jimmy. I was like, he's been practicing driving on the interstate, and I think if he... Whether or not I'm able to drive at the time, that's beside the point. If he practices going to the Dunkin Donuts on the interstate, now he can get there going the back roads, and if he does, I'll smack him. No, I'm just kidding. Because he's trying to practice driving on the interstate. I wouldn't smack him again. If he wants to practice on the interstate, that'd be good practice for him. And be like a good excuse to be like, why don't you just go to the Dunkin Donuts for me? Why don't you go to Baskin Robbins for me? Baskin Robbins has a light ice cream It's not sugar-free. It's a light ice cream. I don't know if they still sell it because I haven't been having light ice cream. I've been having sugar-free ice cream for years. However, it was the most amazing stuff. It was called light Jamocha chip. I don't think they have it anymore. No, light espresso chip. Espresso chip, that's what it's called. And it was like vanilla and a coffee ice cream swirled with chocolate chips in it. And they had something called a cappuccino blast. Let me rewind. The nursery. Let me rewind with how I have a vast menu. The nursery school was next door to Baskin Robbins. So sorry, the nursery school was next door to Baskin Robbins. Sorry. So in the summer, especially after work, we would stop, not every day, but like on payday, we would stop in and get ice cream. So they had a cappuccino blast that I used to have made with this espresso chip ice cream, which made it a little less calories. Not much, but a little. The best thing ever. I miss that. So I don't even know if that thing exists anymore. I don't know if cappuccino blast exists anymore. I don't know if that ice cream exists anymore. But let me tell you something. If it does, I might have to find it. Treat myself every once in a while. See exactly how much sugar is in it before I go ahead and do that. But that was like my favoriteest thing ever. But I love Baskin Robbins. I think they have the best mint chocolate chip. Friendly's is close. Edie's is like the third. Because I like the chocolate chip, mint chocolate chip ice cream where they actually seem like they poured the chocolate in and it's just like these thin flakes of like shaved chocolate. That's the kind of mint chocolate chip I like to. I don't like to chew my ice cream very much. I have sensitive teeth that way. So I don't really care. I'm sorry, my rib cage, you can't see it because is that, you can see this? Can you see this? I don't know. It's weird to me that my rib cage is poking out. Obviously, there's a lot of fat between me and this rib cage, but the fact that my stomach is going whoop is like bizarre to me. I'm sorry. It's just freaking me out. I'm like, what is this? I can't stop fidgeting today. Yesterday, tomorrow. I don't know why. Ever since my potential diagnosis, I can't stop fidgeting. From the time that I heard it was a tumor the Friday the 10th, the word tumor was presented to me as opposed to lesion. I never associated lesion with tumor. I just thought lesion could be scar tissue, could be a cyst. I thought about all these other things. But when the word tumor was used, I didn't even think about it then. But Monday, when I got the call from the orthopedist that he wanted me to see, an oncologist, I was like, oh, that kind of tumor. Gotcha. So ever since then, I have felt very calm about it, and I felt really at peace, but I can't stop picking. So I think it's I'm at peace, but I think my subconscious is on fire. I don't think it's because I'm worried. I think it's just the fact of like, what's next? I don't know. How can I prepare when I don't know what's next? Type of a situation. So I have faith that I'm in God's hands. Whatever will happen, will happen. And as we go, he'll always be with me. But my subconscious is like trying to make a schedule and it can't because it doesn't know what's happening next. I started to feel that way before, like I was between MRIs. Before I actually got my MRI, I started to feel like, when is this just going to be better? When is this going to be done? When is it like, I just wanted it to be over, you know? But what justified in my mind, what justified the 5 weeks of laying here, being told by numerous people that I'm just being lazy and taking advantage and all these things, was when the oncologist told me, whatever you were doing, just keep doing it. It was a justification that I'm in the place where I needed to be because of the things that I did, and it was good. It was beneficial. So when he said, just keep doing what you're doing, except no no dancing. And then the reason I keep doing this is because he didn't actually like say, don't bend down and touch your toes. He leaned over, he was sitting and he leaned over and touched his toes. And he's like, I said, no touching your toes. And he goes, no bending over. I was like, well, I have been doing that. He's like, no, don't do that. I said, okay, I won't do that. Except I did it yesterday. I mean, technically, he did say just keep doing what you were doing, and I was doing that. I had Jimmy bring me the grabber today. I have one of those Dollar Tree grabbers because, especially when my garbage can gets towards the full side, when I throw my tissues, because my garbage can has to stay over there so I can use it at the commode. I have the flushable wipes, and I throw them in the garbage can, just the pee-pee ones. Not that you needed to know that, but I'm telling you in case you do need to know that. Let me take that back. The flushable wipes, you can only flush 1 to 2 at a time. And I can't put them in the commode because then it'll be like I pee 5 times. It'll be 10 wipes or whatever, or 5 wipes. And that's too much to put down in the commode. So I throw them into the garbage. So I have to keep the garbage can over there. And as it gets full, sometimes when I throw my tissues in there, they fall on the floor. Or my wrappers float in the air. So, I asked Jimmy, just get me the grabber since I'm not supposed to bend over anymore. And when I see like even a scrap of paper on the floor, it makes me crazy. So he brought it to me this morning. And he emptied my commode this morning. He did a lot for me this morning. I said, would you mind making me an iced coffee instead, or cold brew instead? And he's like, no problem. And then I finished my water and he got my water. And then he got me the grabber. And then he emptied my commode. And I was very, very grateful. And he still made it to work on time. That's all. I love him so much. I miss him when he's out. I miss him when he's away. I got really used to having him home. Even though we didn't spend so much time together, it was just nice to know that he was here. Especially the weeks that I was stuck here in bed. It was just nice to know if there was an emergency, I could call him. Yeah. So we have a lot to do this weekend to prepare for Julie. He's been using the guest room sort of as a landing facility. We're going to put the queen size bed, box spring, and frame out to the carport for Facebook Marketplace. I'm just going to post it free on Facebook Marketplace. And then he's going to, and our friend took the king size mattress from QVC that we couldn't return. If it was a comfortable mattress, I probably would have just used it myself, but it was not a comfortable mattress. I am so in love with this $400 mattress from IKEA. Like, you have no idea. I think it's the greatest thing ever since sliced bread. On top of this $179 frame. It's like this whole setup was cheaper than that mattress by itself. And it was a piece of junk. So, just saying. I mean, it might not have been for everybody. For me, it didn't work. Let me just say that. That's better. So, the bed part is got some things on it. Jimmy's like, oh, we have to go through those things. And I was like, yeah, I want to do this to them. And I want to put them in those bins, you know. I basically, when we took, like, did a initial cleanup of the room last time. Do you guys remember we had put everything out on the table? And I'd gone through everything and I purged a bunch of stuff. We went through all of those boxes and the bins that were in the closet. And we purged a bunch of stuff. But what we also did was discover a bunch of stuff that I wanted to keep that didn't have a home. Because Dollar Tree came out with Crafter Square. And I had no home for all of these items that are new. So I had put them into cardboard boxes and marked them like wood pieces. Like I have a whole bin. Like I could fill up a whole bin of just wood pieces. And such and such. So I think there's just 3 boxes. There's 2 boxes, but they'll fill up 3 bins. Sorry. That's what I meant to say. 1 box is about the size of a bin, and one of the boxes is about the size of 2 bins. that will fill up 3 bins. One of them is like another miscellaneous box, which I want to go through the miscellaneous box that I have again, because some of that can actually go in more specific boxes. Like, I think the pipe cleaners should probably be with wreath making stuff, because that's what I mostly use them for. But I'm not 100% sure if I'll do that. So we'll see. Like, just I want to redo that kind of thing. And I can't remember what else is in with the miscellaneous stuff. It might be more box signs, but I can't remember. I can't remember right now. Sorry. So that's what's in the guest room. Some stuff that I have to send out is in the guest room. But one of the boxes, honestly, is for my sister to take home to Las Vegas. So I'll be excited to open that and go through it with her and give her all the things. And then she can decide here if they'll go home with her. Like, because some of the things I was like, I think the kids would like these. And it's been in there for 3 years. And who knows what the kids changed. Taste has changed or whatever. So, so we'll see. So, not 3 years. It was after she left in 2019. Yeah, two years. Okay. But still, like Abby's an adult now. She's 18 and she was 16 at the time. I mean, that's, or 15 really. She had just before she turned 16. No, she was 16 just before she turned 17 because she's going to be 20. She's going to be 19 soon. Okay. Focus. Anyhow, so there's just little things like that. And it is killing me that I'm actually going to have company. Just like when Poppy came the first time. It is killing me that my house is not Jeri ready for company. And I apologized to her and she's like, I'm not coming to see your house. And I was like, that's really, really sweet, but still thank you. So it's just the same thing. My sister's coming and I have just taken such pride, regardless of what my husband may say and the complaints on the everyday and even how my physical limitations have changed over the course of the last 8 years we've lived here. I have taken a lot of pride in presenting my house when I have guests, putting my best foot forward, trying to make everybody feel as comfortable as possible, trying to make everybody as welcome as possible, that type of thing. And I just can't do that from in here. I could just put on a smile on my face and do what I got to do. And I have to trust in my family to do the rest. And that's just what it is. And of course, she's my sister. She won't care. She knows the situation. She's been here before when my best foot was forward. So she knows the situation. But, my mom had this thing where she used to keep house before she had all the kids. And what I mean that is, like, there's a picture of me in the walker before my little cousins came to live with us that you can see, like, under the couch. Like, the house was spotless. And then you could see a picture of us, like, 5 years later, and, there's not a square inch on the couch because there's people and papers and homework and clothes. And obviously times change. As people get older, they have more needs. Kids get older, they have more things. But it was just, like, what we remember as children, what we remember that, that my mom ended up not being the best housekeeper type of thing. But my sisters remember her when she was younger, and they do remember her keeping house and keeping everything clean and vacuuming and that kind of stuff. So it's just weird. It's weird, like, we have different, like, 5 years is a lot. My mother was 23 when she had my sister. She was 28 when she had me. So actually she technically was 22 when she had my sister, but 2 months shy of 23. And she was 28 when she had me. So it's like, I remember what the difference between when I was 23 and I was 28, like how much more energy I had just in that 5 years. Plus, she was running after my sister, who's 5 years older than me, was the second child. I was the fifth. So, like, things obviously evolve and change, but we sometimes have as a memory in my family, like, you don't want to end up like this. You don't want to end up like this. Like, the things that bothered me once I became old enough to realize that they weren't normal, if that makes any sense, were like stupid things like, I don't know, behind the faucet in the kitchen sink. If you're washing pots or whatever, then water can splash up behind the faucet. And with a old stainless steel sinks, they have like, they come off the counter and they dip down, and then that's what the ridge there is where your faucet lies. So you basically have like, so it won't flow onto your counter, basically. But if you splash up, food can get behind the faucet. And my house, from when I can remember, I feel like that was like never cleaned, like on a regular basis. I clean that thing. Well, I don't anymore, but I did up until 6 weeks ago. Up until May 17th, I cleaned that thing every day. Was part of my daily routine, was to take the dish rag at the end of the day and just wipe down that. It's just stuff like that you don't realize if you don't realize. And that doesn't make any sense, but like, you could grow up in a house where that's a normal thing to wipe the back of that. But I grew up in a house where it was like, when I went to go clean it as a teenager who was like trying to surprise my family on holidays by having a super, like my dad used to love to cook on holidays. So I would just like, I think I was like 15. I'm like, let me clean the kitchen really, really good for my dad to do all the holiday cooking. And I would like get out the Comet, and I'd have and then I'd go to like clean back there, and I'm like, what in heaven's name? I have to take a screwdriver to this chunky grossness. And I was like, what is happening back here? And it's just one of those, it's sort of like, look, when your house, and this is not to shame anybody, 100%. It's not to shame my parents. It's not to shame anybody who's got 1,000 kids and can't wash the back of that area. This is the point of the story, is twofold. One is to say, you don't know until you know. Like, you don't realize that that's something you need to clean every day until you go to clean it, and it's gross because you didn't clean it every day. And the second thing is the point of the story was how we either try to be like our parents or to be the opposite, to emulate. So like me trying to have pride in the cleanliness of my home, which is really ironic because my family complains about the cleanliness of my home. And I'm like, my home is 1,000,000 times cleaner than the house that I grew up in. I know it might not be perfect right now, but oh God, please give me a break. And again, pick up a broom. If you don't like it, pick up a broom, grab the vacuum, whatever. So my sister knows, though. My sister knows that I take pride in the cleanliness and the beauty of my home. And it's just not something that I can do right now. And she knows this, and I appreciate it. But anyhow, so I'm excited that she's coming, despite how the house looks. We have some work to do this weekend, and I say we, mostly Jim. I will help him the best way I can. Hopefully he will bring me those boxes and I can get that stuff divvied up. I do have a spot cleaned off. Well, I won't say that. I don't know that it's cleaned off anymore. I did have a spot cleaned off on the floor where the couch was in the office, that he could stack the boxes. So we'll see if he can do that. And yeah, at least get that part done, you know. I don't know. My sister likes to do construction work and redecorating. Maybe she'll want to help. That'd be so exciting. But anyway, I'm going to go because this has been a really long talk. Alexa, what time is it? Alexa, what time is it?
It's 6:47 a.m.
Yeah, we've been talking for a long time. That's over an hour. No, that's about an hour. Oh, that's close to an hour. I love you guys. I do appreciate everybody being here. I mention it every day and I sound like a broken record. Somebody had said to me in the comments one time, like, if you say you're thankful or thank. So that just cut off on me. I wonder if I'm out of memory. Anyway, somebody said, if you say you're thankful or thank you or I'm sorry too much, then sometimes it gets lost on deaf ears. So I want to just let you know that I say it every day, but I am truly 100% truly grateful for everyone being here. And thank you all for joining me. And as always, you guys take care. God bless. And we'll see you next time. Bye.